Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're taking a trip now to Sheffield Parkway. M1. Just in a video coming down M1, if anybody's interested. Bit of banter, bit of chatter on that one. We'll squeeze through these amber lights. Everybody's in a rush. So we are coming down Sheffield Parkway, or A630, is it? 6:30. If you are coming down the motorway into Sheffield, either from north or south, I reckon this is possibly the easiest way in. Now it does get busy further in, but what roads don't into a town centre at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. Love the little African twin. Do like them, and you do feel like you're riding a nice bike. I've had a couple of goes on some African twins, some older ones. Transalp one was my favourite, but man, it was heavy. But it was old. And if you know the old bikes, they are a bit heavy. So we are going to hit the traffic. And I'm going to get in the outside lane because these are the guys. Some of them will be taking a left and going towards Crystal Peaks, so we don't want to get caught up with them. This, if you do come down Sheffield Parkway and you're coming into Sheffield, we've got Advanced Manufacturing Park on the left hand side, which there's a brilliant college. AMRC. There's a great bit of a retail park. We've got McLaren on there. We've got some other cool companies on there. Not McLaren cars, although no doubt they do things with McLaren cars. But I think it's more to do with precision making of things. So yeah, if I were a kid and I wanted to get into some cool businesses, I'd be dropping my CV into them places or trying to get a apprenticeship at some of them. McLaren don't pay the best, but why would they when people want to work for them? Obviously higher up they get in that business, they will pay a bit better, but so I've been told. That's not real life, that's not me telling real life, it's just what I've been told. But it's supposed to be a real good company to work for, and yeah, what I want it to be. As opposed to some other companies that are almost run by people who think they're better than everybody. There's a couple of companies I could name, but I'm not going to. That treat the workers not very good. So we're not going to get into that. We're concentrating on coming down the Sheffield Parkway. So if you do come down, it is a 50 mile an hour speed limit. Nobody seems to, especially when it's quite quiet at night or first thing, nobody seems to adhere to that 50 mile an hour speed limit. I have to, because I've got a tracker and I get a driving score, and well, I don't want any speeding tickets as well. It's just not worth it. My other car is a little bit nippy. 50 mile an hour in it seems ever so slow, but end of the day it's my licence. We don't want no speeding tickets, no points on his licence, or God forbid the course that you have to do, the speed awareness course. I have done one. No, I've done two in my life. The first time I got caught speeding was 34 in a 30, and I was fetching some Formula 1 tickets that had been sent back to the post office, and I was somewhere I didn't know. Really quiet road. Had always been a 40 mile an hour road, that, apart from one little stretch which they dip it into a 30, and they've got a special lay-by for a speed camera van, and it's a 30 for maybe 500 yards, and I think they've done it, they've created this little bit specially to catch people speeding. So that was my first one, did that in a classroom. First thing they asked you, who thinks they shouldn't be here? Everybody put their hand up apart from me. So he picked on me and says, why do you think you should be here? I says, well, obviously I've been caught speeding. Do you think you were speeding? I says, well, it's in black and white. Commit the crime, do the punishment, although it's not, you know. People will say, oh, could have let us off. But anyway, I was there, did that. That was a day out of my life, never going to get back, and I'll be honest with you, so boring. Did I learn anything? Possibly. Can't remember my second speed awareness thing in COVID. Oh yes, I can. Yeah, I can. I was on one of these roads where there's an average speed camera, and I didn't think, or I didn't understand how they worked. And it's a 60 mile an hour road, and I'm 65 maybe, the average my speed at. Maybe I was going a little bit faster. So that was my second one. Did that online in COVID, or just out of COVID, and that was quite good. The lady that was the assessor, or the tutor, or whatever, she openly admitted that she'd got quite a lot of points in her licence, and as part of her, she rode a motorbike, and as part of her way of trying to stop speeding, she started doing these courses online from home. Obviously we're all in COVID, or just out of it, and as soon as she told me a couple of things about herself, and I started listening. I'm a people person. I'm not anything else really. People person. So yeah, cool. So I knew it was going to be busy. We're just going to have to sit and wait in traffic. Ooh, there's going to be a lot of traffic. I might go a different way actually. I might come off before we hit the town centre. Should I? I don't know. 8:42. going. You're just going to have to persevere in the traffic. So we are moving. I need to be in, when we get right further down, I need to be in left lane. So as you come into Sheffield, this is the road that takes you really from the motorway to the town centre. There are other ones, but the single carriageway. And this is the one that all your sat navs will take you in. I don't know why. I think it's just it directs you this way. And if you are coming to train station or you are coming into for a show maybe from a different part, you probably end up down this road. Couple of private plates in front, UIG 1632 and we've got T777 JSN Jason. Now I won't have them plates. They don't really, they take the date off the, I get that. They've made them cars, so we don't know what year them cars are. We don't know when they were manufactured. But the Porsche, we know it's not new. And to me, that plate makes it look tacky. My opinion, if anybody else, if the guy that's driving that watches this, not a problem, mate. Obviously I can't afford a Porsche. Shake your hand. To me it just makes it look a bit chavvy. If I were going to have a private plate or a dateless plate, I'd have a 3 and 3 like I have got. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I've got a 3 and 3. So Millennium Galleries, Winter Garden. Winter Garden's brilliant. Near Town Hall, all enclosed. You can walk through it, you can go in it, a couple of shops, a couple of bits and pieces in there. Not a shop, are there shops? Yeah, there's going to be shops in there. A gallery, I think, in there. It's great when there's a private doing there. They do close it off and you have everything to yourself. God, smoke in there. So yeah, it's closed off. You do have everything to yourself. Pretty cool. I'm gonna have to change lanes, I'm afraid. Are you gonna let me in? Yeah, you're gonna let me in. So I could come off at this retail park, drive through it, come out of the end, but I don't think I'm gonna gain anything. So all these other people, they're gonna do it. So we are in the traffic. What else is Sheffield famous for? You can see the remnants of the flats in the distance. Sheffield used to have quite a lot of these type of flats. Can't remember which ones they're called. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that's Park Hill. No, it's not. Park Hill's in a different place. Anyway, these flats, they were built quite a while back, concrete on concrete on concrete. That one don't look bad. And they've been used for different things. Council had I think that one that we can see now is private. it's got. They're not bad actually inside. I've been inside a few. The ones that they knocked down further into town, the rough ones. Worked on those, and yeah, they did them all up for World Student Games, and students had them. They were painted by them, and now obviously used for different things. Park Hill Flats, which isn't these, and just round corner from these at Palmer City Road, they are still going. They were derelict. They've got the famous bridge, that's what I remember them for. It's quite famous in Sheffield, and it's got some writing on it. I can't tell you what the writing is. I've not got enough memory for that, but it is quite famous in Sheffield, with this writing on. And they were talking about removing this writing, but because it's a famous landmark, they haven't done. And it is really, it's graffiti. So, yeah, I am rambling on a bit, aren't I? But look at traffic here. This building, this Capita building, as you can see on the right, I always thought that were a helipad on top of it, where a helicopter could land. But apparently it's took its design from another building, which does have a helipad on it, but it's quite a bit bigger than that. So it's a scaled down design of another building. But Capita, what do they do? Anybody knows? Let us know. Let us know. Offices to let. So after COVID, nobody wants to go back to the office. They all want to work from home. If I'd got a company and I'd got a big office and I could downsize and people could work from home, it's going to save you buying coffee, it's going to save you heating a building, it's going to save you floor space, it's going to save you a little bit of everything. Now, they might say they're not productive, but you can monitor productivity. You know, I know people who work from home, and I know they're more productive. So you can monitor that, and if they're not productive, then insist on dragging them in, and just say, look, you're not productive so much. That's why you're in here. So we're going to skip to middle lane, unfortunately. Try and get around a bit. Yeah, so we've got canal outside of us, we've got narrow boats on. These buildings aren't right, I worked in those when they were first being built. The Park Square, it used to be a market in front of us, where them two like orangey buildings were, like an outdoor market. All that's gone. I remember as a kid coming down and buying second-hand shoes. From there, I don't know why. What possessed me? Well, I do. I only needed some shoes, but why did I buy second-hand ones? Well, there were no eBay or Vinted. Back in them days, it were markets. You had to get up early. I got up early, got on bus, got down, pair of size, whatever it were. I think they were Dr. Martin shoes I ended up buying. I needed some for, just needed some shoes. So we're heading into Sheffield, near the train station. I'm just gonna nip into the lane, but yeah, I'm gonna nip into the lane. Nothing behind me, so we can stay in this lane for a while. We're probably going to get stuck because people will be dropping off at the train station and they don't know what to do since it messed about with it. But I'm going to stick in this one. So we do need to go right through. So Sheffield train station on the left. On my right hand side, when I was a kid, this used to be called Pond Street. Don't know if there were a pond there, never saw it, but there were big swimming baths. And it was called Sheaf Valley Baths. And the lasting memory, Sheaf Valley Baths, it had a painting in there, what Rolf Harris did. A massive painting as well, it went like a little one, it was huge. And when they knocked Sheaf Valley Baths down, that painting went to, I believe, Fletcher's in Sheffield, because Sheaf Valley Baths were brilliant, but it was something like half a metre too short for Wales Student Games. So they built a new swimming pool in Sheffield at a cost a fortune, which is called Ponds Forge, and I've been in there recently and it looks like it's never been cleaned since it's been open, but that's a different story. Yeah, so Ponds Forge, and it's a leisure centre now run by Sheffield, but like I said, it needs a good clean. It has been it was closed at one bit. You'd have thought they'd have cleaned it while it was closed, but it doesn't look like it's ever been cleaned. And that painting went to Fletcher's, which was a bread manufacturer in Hillsborough. And Fletcher's had a fire, and the painting was burned. Well, the whole building was burned to the ground, never to be seen again. If anybody's got any pictures of the painting in Sheaf Valley Baths, yeah, put it in comments. Please put it in comments. So we've passed, just back on left, we've passed the train station, or the entrance to the parking for the train station. We are going now, if you can see in the distance, we're heading to McDonald's, and I'm going to cut it just before we get in McDonald's because my colleague might be there, so we don't want no corporate stuff being on the video, but that's where we're headed. And this is Sheffield in the morning, driving to Sheffield. So if you are driving in, that's what to expect. If you've seen yourself or anybody you know, let me know. Please comment, please like, do all that stuff, and we'll make some more. Thank you for watching.